Hi, welcome to the program. Rupali is joining with us today. Talk about CSR activities. Thank you, Rupali, for your article. So, Rupali, tell us about yourself. Who is Rupali?
Thank you, Christopher. Thank you for having me over here. It's a pleasure to share who is Rupali. Rupali is a passionate change maker. She is a mother of a child who is 1.5 year old. And when I see him, I see the possibilities for this world. I see that possibilities in my work. I love traveling. I love reading, music, dance. That has been my passion. But I have been working. I've been working since last 12 years, and around 4 years back, I have founded a company which is focusing on CSR and sustainability.
So, what's the best part of being a CSR consultant?
The best part of being CSR consultant is the ability to see the vision getting transformed into ideas and projects.
Mhm.
And another best part is that I get to interact with a lot of social innovators and actually help their projects getting funded through obviously corporate social responsibility. Yeah.
That's great. And what was your childhood ambition?
To be a lawyer, criminal lawyer. I was
Mhm.
influenced by Bollywood. I
Mhm.
come from India. So
Yeah.
Bollywood had that influence. I wanted to be a criminal lawyer. But
Mhm.
I realized, or my life experiences brought me to where I am right now. But yeah, I always wanted to be a criminal lawyer.
So, let's get into our topic for today. So, what is
Sure.
CSR?
CSR, corporate social responsibility, it is a tool basically for businesses to interact with communities to bring about the social change. And if by definition we have to get into it, by definition, it means that it is a way for businesses to be more socially responsible and accountable towards the society.
So, why it's important for a company to engage in CSR activity?
As I mentioned earlier, it is a tool, right, for businesses
Mhm.
to actually interact with the communities, right? So it's for any business to have a healthy business. It is important to have a healthy ecosystem, and for this
Mhm.
healthy ecosystem, there can be no other way. And when I say ecosystem, I mean the stakeholders, the communities, the resources in the communities. Until and unless there are not enough resources in the communities, if the consumers who are their business who are their stakeholders, right, the important
Mhm.
stakeholders, if they are not thriving, their businesses won't thrive. So for
Mhm.
businesses to grow exponentially, it is important to for businesses to be part of CSR.
How about when you come to professionals? Why it will benefit for a professional to engage in CSR?
Okay. So there are, I'll say there are two stakeholders over here. So there is a professional who is a CSR part of CSR, right? And there is another who is part of a business.
Mhm.
So professionally, there are two dynamics to it. One is that as a CSR person or as a CSR manager, CSR executive, you get to work on these projects. You get to work on your core purpose, right? Where you are driving the projects, creating the impact that you always wanted to. Whereas as a part of as an employee, when your companies basically do get engaged with CSR, it is an opportunity for you to digress a little bit from your core profession and do something for the betterment of the society. So basically, we all have that desire, right, to do something good for the society. But sometimes we are into the sectors where our sectoral experiences or work is not directly impacting or directly helping us, or our timelines are not helping us. So in that case, this is a very good way for them to get engaged through employee
Mhm.
volunteering, which is also part of corporate social responsibility, the CSR.
Yes. Okay, Rupali, you have tapped already this question in previous answer about businesses, how it can be impact for them, how can be benefit. But I would like to ask you again this question to find out more because a lot of business leaders are watching this program, how
And
it can help for them because when they're making their budget, they are considering about the return on investment, whatever the spending they are doing. So how a person could convince to their financial professionals about spending money on CSR activities, how a business can benefit out of CSR.
right. This is the question of all the meetings, right? A CSR consultant has to answer to businesses, to CEOs. And during my interaction, what I say is there is something called a strategic CSR. When you look at strategic CSR helps you design your CSR programs basically more aligned to your larger business objectives. Okay, so I'm not saying about daily targets or something, but like a larger, bigger business objectives. And there are a lot of companies who have been successfully able to do that. A very famous soap manufacturing company, they had launched something. They had invested, or rather, and I always call CSR as an investment because it always gives returns. Okay,
Mhm.
so they had designed a program on sanitation and hygiene. During that program, they had distributed certain hand wash because they wanted to instill the good practices in students and in the community. So they had distributed. It was part of a larger program. Now you have to
Mhm.
understand that they had used that product to hand wash.
Mm.
What they realize is a simple activity as washing your hands can reduce lot of diseases,
Mm.
right, from diarrhea, right?
Mm.
So these are a few examples. So when people started using it, they realized the importance of it, and you wouldn't believe, actually the market opened up for smaller hand washing sachets,
Mhm.
which created business for, I believe, not only for that company but for
Mm.
many other soap manufacturing company. So
Yeah.
that was like the immediate impact. Other than that, when you look at strategic CSR, there are many other companies or manufacturing companies. What they do is they usually do the projects in and around, like around their manufacturing plant. That
Mm.
creates a goodwill, right?
Yeah.
So you can see n number of examples where when corporates has thought through about what their CSR strategy should be, and when
Mhm.
CSR strategy team is sitting down with business strategy team, you find a better impact, and you
Yeah.
also find a better commitment and also better return.
So, what are the main barriers or challenges for implementing a CSR program, especially in today's world? Budgets are very tight, and sometimes companies are wanting more. Like they do some CSR, but they want to get more and more and more branding or shout out for them. So, how, as a CSR consultant, what kind of challenges you are facing when you are engaging in your business?
Yes. So usually what happens is funds are always an issue. I mean,
Mm.
uh, the kind of funds which are required to work on the problems around us, they always fall short if you really look at it. And not all corporates have big budgets. There are some who are having really big budgets, but there are
Mm.
corporates who are having smaller budgets. The idea is basically for more corporates to collaborate and work on single project.
Mhm.
Okay, that helps them create a bigger impact. Okay,
Yeah.
second thing is that also gives them bigger branding canvas, as
Mhm.
we say, right? So even if you have, say, the project is worth 1,000 crore and you have
Mhm.
invested 50 crores in that
Mhm.
project, right, in CSR project, you have contributed to that.
Yeah.
But when the branding activity takes place, it's on a larger canvas.
Mhm.
So when, if you're looking at from a branding perspective, then yes, it's a win-win for a
Mhm.
corporate that they are collaborating rather than going single, okay,
Yeah.
or solo, independent. Second is the kind of impact. Imagine a amount like 1,000 crore can create so much bigger impact than a 50 crore,
Mhm.
right? So that's one way to go about it.
Mhm.
Second way is that is first is collaborating, right? So
Yeah.
funds, like I said, it's always short, and that becomes a challenge, and this could be the solution for that. Second is not thought through projects. So
Mhm.
sometimes what we feel is we feel we should do this.
Yeah.
But it is important, like I said, to take a step back and look at it from strategic perspective. So stop looking at it as a charity that I'm
Yeah.
writing down a check. Don't do
Mm.
that. That kind of makes you lose out on the opportunity as a business. So rather it is important to design a proper project.
Mm.
These are the other problems are like smaller NGOs. They don't get access to corporates, right?
Yeah.
So as a consultant, that is something as a bigger role that I have to play is right to identify the non-profits who
Mhm.
can actually reach out to these corporates.
Mhm.
And corporates can then actually handhold them, because sometimes it's also an administration issue where these non-profits are they need that professional help,
Yeah.
and corporates can actually step in and help them on that. So it could be a
Okay.
win-win situation if these stakeholders, so these are the few challenges, if they are addressed,
Mhm.
I think it becomes a win-win situation for everyone.
So before we're finishing, what is your message for the audience?
when yesterday was the World Environment Day, right?
Mhm.
And I was writing something in that regard, and I feel that kind of resonates, and I that is something I would like to always convey. When we look at this world, we do realize that now that I'm a mother, I realize it more.
Mm,
But the resources that we are using, right? They don't belong to us. They belong to our future generations.
mm,
So whether you're working in the development sector or you're not working in the development sector, but we are part of this world. And when
mm,
we are part of this world, everyone, every individual should come in and contribute in making this world a better place, and also see about what are the impacts that they are creating at an individual level. And that is something that I want everyone to be little conscious
mhm.
about what they are doing, why they are doing, should they do it or can they do it differently. This is all that I would like to say.
Thank you very much, Rupali, for your time and contribution. Let's keep in touch with you and see you in our next copy as well with articles and interviews. Thank you and all the
Thank you.
best.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Christopher. And you're doing a wonderful job with what you're doing. Thank you so much.